Welcome to Our Yard Podcast. This is the 21st episode. Today we're going to be talking about the bash at Berlin and everything that happened. Only 5 matches tonight, but I got to be dead ass with you. This is one of the better pay-per-views that's happened since WrestleMania, at least in my opinion.
Great follow up to SummerSlam for sure.
Absolutely. With that in mind, let's get into it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Alrighty. Fuck yeah. Welcome to Our Yard Podcast, episode 21. I'm one of the co-hosts, Swaggy T, along with Ye Olde Hogmaster. We're going to be talking about the August 31st pay-per-view, PLE, fucking EPMD, whatever you want to call it. It was a banger, and I think I'm going to let Harley go ahead and take these first 2 matches because I woke up late like a piece of shit.
Oh yeah. We'll excuse you this time. All right. So we got, like I said in the intro, this was a great follow up to SummerSlam. I'll say that off the rip. I mean, great pay per view, man. Like, dude, this was one of the best pay per views all year, honestly. Like, it was good. Especially for like a B list pay per view, you know. Sometimes you kind of expect them to be a little, kind of straight in line, I guess you would say. Like, you would think pretty predictable is pretty much what I was getting at. But I mean, overall, like that. I mean, the outcomes. Oh well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe one match, two. I don't know. There might have been a few, like 1 or 2 matches. People were like, "Yeah, that happened," but it is what it is. But we're gonna get it off. They started it off right. Kevin Owens challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. Brother, that match, I know you've only seen the highlights of it, but this match fucking cooked. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm in this point now where I'm like, I think Cody Rhodes should not main event a paper. Like, there's something like when he starts off a show, or he's like second, with whatever. Like, it's brother, he brings it. Like the fire that he gets up and gets everybody fucking going is just insane. And plus Kevin Owens, and honestly, when you go back and rewatch this, like, if for people who just got done watching it, it's fresh on the mind. Like, dude, Kevin Owens might have been getting bigger pops without a doubt. Like, I think he was getting bigger pops and cheers for him than Cody was, which is fucking insane. Just given like how over Cody is at this moment. But like Kevin Owens, dude, they just put on a phenomenal match. Like, real graps. Like, I like the way it progressed. Like, they just grappling, tying up, doing holds and shit the first few minutes, and like progressed here and there. And like when they try to do a move, like, excuse me, like Cody would try to do a disaster, or yeah, he tried to do a disaster kick and a Cody cutter, and Cody kind of just like did the Samoa Joe, like walked out of the way and was like, no, 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 no. He's like, I know you better than that. You're not catching me with that bullshit. And it was that, and then Kevin tried to give Cody a stunner and tried to set him up for a cannonball, and like Cody's like, oh, he was like, no, it's about the same shit. He was like, no, I know you too good. I'm not letting you do that shit to me either. So that's what, like, I don't know. It was just a good back, and then finally they just started getting into it. Brother, this match was a fucking brawl. Like, these two dudes were going at it non-fucking stop.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
From the
Like,
highlights I've seen, it was
yeah, it's
fucking
like,
insane.
it was it was a great way to start this pay per view. And like I said, it might be a hot take, but I personally believe Cody is better defending that title when it's when he's like it's an opening slot or a mid slot, like when it's not the main event. And which the last main event at SummerSlam is not his fault. I understand why they set him up because that was for Roman Reigns' return. And I mean, obviously, his partner to make a match, you have to have two people to make a match great. And he had somebody that was about 5 times less talented than him on that's a generous with Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, it's,
Like Cody's on a different level than Solo. Like it's hard.
you got a decade of experience on him. I mean, that's just how it goes, you know.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. Like overall, like but the match, man, it was great. Like if I had to give it, like a we'll do like A through F scale on this. Like I'd have to give it a B plus for sure. Like and like the cool part was like yesterday last night on SmackDown they were talking about like Kevin was like, oh, what's your knees messed up, and Cody's like, no, I'm good, blah blah blah. Well, then Cody's knee buckles when he goes up top for going to go for a Cody cutter, and instead of Kevin Owens doing what he would have normally did any other time in his career and going after that knee when Cody was laying in the corner, he stood there and got the ref to help, which you know, just they're trying to do the friendship thing, I guess. And you know, like it was I don't know, it was pretty cool. Like it was nice to see Kevin. I don't know. It was cool to see that side, I guess, but I was hoping he could just hit that heel, on the other hand. But then he jumped out of the ring, and Cody's like, "What are you doing helping?" He's like, "I told you I'm good," and he just slapped Kevin, and then Kevin took out his knee that was messed up, and then Kevin picked him up like he was going to give him the classic Owens apron power bomb. That is that has fucked up a lot of people and won him many matches, and he ended up like he backed out of doing the apron power bomb, which was pretty much like the knee thing. I was like, yeah, but then when he backed out of the power bomb, which I guess it was a little predictable. It's like you figured Cody was going to win, but there was some great false finishes leading up, and then this. And when Kevin didn't do the apron power bomb, I was like, yeah, that's it. Like Cody's winning this shit. Like that, yeah. Like if Kevin's not going to do what he does best and just fuck people up, like that's like he's not winning. You know what I'm saying? Like best way I can explain that. So yeah, it was outside like I said, I mean it was good storytelling in the match. I don't know where I think it's just like a transition match for Cody, and I don't know. I guess he's going. I guess the bloodline or something's going to be back in tied. Well, I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I mean, I hate the bloodline. I don't give two shits about what happens with that. Um, but yeah, like outside of that, great match, like B plus. I mean, very entertaining, great brawling match, very old school style, like with the brawling side of things, and then but then the moves, like yeah, it was great, man. Like it was truly a great match, like perfect to start opening the show, and obviously Cody retained, so he's still the champion, the WWE champion, undisputed. It's like because he counts it as a WWE championship, but it's undisputed. It's the WWE championship and the Universal tied together. So whatever you want to call it, um, he's just the WWE champion, and then the next match was the women's tag team.
I really wanted to see that match too because I'm wanting to see if Jade Cargill is actually like improving. Like I don't really have a problem with her, but like compared to Bianca and the Unholy Union, Like, I
Yeah.
mean, there's definitely like she would have to be the weakest one, in my opinion. I know some people would probably be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It's like, but compared to like Aladon and Alba Fire are very, very slept on technically.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're great workers, but I mean, I will say from watching this match, like Jade has improved a lot. Like she didn't really do her five moves of doom type stuff. Like
Yeah.
she was actually doing a lot of different stuff, and it was cool. Um, like I don't know, like I thought it was great, man. Like the whole match was just it was electric. Of course, it was unholy union was pretty much for the first if I had to take a guess 6 7 minutes maybe. Like Bianca was like it started out just all of them brawling in the ring, and then
Yeah.
Bianca was in, and Bianca, hell, once she started the match, like I said, it's probably about 7 8 minutes in, and Bianca was just fighting for her life out there, and she ended up like she ended up getting a tag, obviously, but it was before there was honestly it was a spot of the match that happened when she was trying to get a tag to Jade, and Isla Dawn had her occupied, and Bianca went up. I mean, not Bianca. I'm sorry. Jay. Isla Dawn went up. She had a hold of Bianca like for a DDT, and she faked it. Like she grabbed her and went up, and she kicked. Like she went up and kicked Jade off the apron, and she ran the ropes like each side of the buckle. It went like bounce, like 1 2, like just did a bounce and hit a damn tornado, a sick tornado DDT that went halfway across the fucking ring. Like it was very wretched, dude. Like it looked fucking vile, but it was like, dude, it got me out of the seat. I was like, holy shit, like that shit was fire, brother. I'm telling you, like it was. Yeah, that was like the best spot of the match for me, besides the ending sequence. But like the ending sequence would probably be second, but anyways, they hit that, and then eventually Bianca fights, and then she gets a hot tag. Jade comes in, like she does, you know, kicking ass and just like going back and forth. But she actually gets down a little bit, and then she comes back and she's hitting suplexes and doing some wild shit. Like she's not just doing power moves everywhere. Like I mean, she did hit the spine buster, but I don't, dude. She was just like, yeah. Jade Cargill has improved tremendously, and she is electric. Like, dude, she was damn. Well, she has all the potential in the world, without a doubt. That's not no question in that.
She
But
got one of the best looks in women's wrestling history.
oh yeah,
That's for sure. Like,
without a doubt. And she just kept going, man. It was awesome. Like it was, dude. Damn, what a great match it was. Like, and then obviously, like the end of it, um, Unholy Union gets a. They start getting ahead and get the offense moving, and she hit the damn. They they went up for the move. What's like a backbreaker on Jade. Like Isla Dawn hit her with a backbreaker and laid on the ground and had her knees in her back, and like when Alba Fire came out the top rope, she Jade moved at the last second and caught both the knees. She caught both the knees of Isla Dawn, and it was, dude, it was gnarly. I was like, whew, like that shit looked rough, and then it went from that into Jade throwing out, or no, Bianca threw out Alba Fire because Isla Dawn was legal and Jade was legal, and Bianca got in there, she threw Fire out, and then she grabbed. They went for their finishing move, and it's like a. I don't really know what it's called. It's like Jade picks her up in a wheelbarrow position, has her like she's holding her up in the air. Bianca grabs her and like takes her down like an underhook DDT type move, like and gets her like takes her to the ground, and then she kicks her in the stomach, like she kicked Isla Dawn in the stomach to send her upright, and then Jay threw her into a nasty ass German suplex. Like it was fucking sick. I was like, holy shit! And then that was the like. Then they picked the dub up with that. Dude, it was a great match. I mean, honestly, not a bad match on this card at all. Like all of them were phenomenal. And like this match, what a tag team match. Now the only thing I kind of wish, excuse me, I wish that I I wish and like I kind of hope that Jade and Bianca would lose, even though Bianca's my woman. That's my favorite women's wrestler right now. But I was kind of hoping they would lose so Jade could turn heel, in a sense, to like spice up the division, like to put them in solo categories again. But I guess that's not happening right now. In Triple H, we trust. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure he'll do something right with it. It's just like, that's all I was kind of hoping for. But in a sense, I was like, I'm fine with it. But my prediction was for them to win because it just made sense. But I was 2 for 2. Like I mean, actually, I called the whole card right again. I can't believe I did that shit.
I only missed one, and I technically got one bit of it wrong, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I guess after that, and then I'll kick it to Trevor. And my last two things, I'll say my top two takeaways from the two matches that just happened was Kevin Owens hit a goddamn. He hit a motherfucking fisherman brainbuster off the top rope, and brother, that shit was gnarly. It was, whew, like Cody was selling. I'm like, brother, I don't know how much you're selling of that shit. Like, that shit did not feel good coming down on that damn mat on that shit. But that fisherman brainbuster, and then of course I went over the women's was that sick ass tornado DDT kicking Jade off the apron was diabolical. And those are my two takeaways. And I would give the women's match, honestly, I think I'm gonna give it a little higher. I think I'm gonna go at A minus. Like, it was fucking great, dude. And the crowd was fucking electric.
Oh,
They were up,
absolutely.
that crowd was up there with Leon France at Backlash this year. So there's that. But
May have even been better. There's definitely a debate to be had
oh yeah,
about it.
without that.
You always love to see the fans get involved the way they did at Bash in Berlin, Backlash, like hell, like I mean, even King of the Ring, dude, like or Clash at the Castle. I mean, like even Clash at the Castle, like all these like overseas, like these European crowds have really been like making the U.S. crowd, go up with their intensity. So I mean, I think it builds everybody. Iron sharpens iron, and where it's not a direct competition between the fans to see who's the loudest, but I mean, Backlash was so damn loud that every crowd after that has been trying to follow suit.
Oh yeah.
And but no, and the next match on the card was the strap match with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and they didn't even get to have an official like match start because when CM Punk was on the outside, I mean, Drew came up and attacked him pretty much right off, and off the match went after that. Drew whooped his ass for a good 2 or 3 minutes. Then CM Punk finally reversed and finally started getting the upper hand a little bit. And honestly, the match felt like it was longer than it was, but not in a bad way. It was more like it's almost like a movie you watch, and we did figure that we did figure that this match was probably going to be going in CM Punk's favor because I feel like it's going to be a trilogy at the very least. And with Drew winning the first one, it only makes sense that CM Punk was going to win the second one. And but no, other than that, it was fantastic. Bunch of big spots from him. I think one in particular that got me really excited was just the use of the strap itself. I mean, just whipping each other, which I mean, that doesn't sound like a big spot, but I mean, a couple weeks ago when CM Punk officially got the strap and just started beating the hell out of Drew with it, and there's pictures after of the welts on his back. I imagine there's going to be welts all over that son bitch come Monday. But just absolute banger of a match. Um, Drew hit a claymore and got three of the corners touched. CM Punk wound up stopping him before he hit the fourth one. There was one. There was one spot in particular that I liked quite a bit. CM Punk wound up getting on Drew's shoulders, and Drew would hit the corner, and CM Punk would hit the corner. Then they go to the next one, same thing. They went to the third one, same thing. And eventually, like they held on to the ropes and kind of stopped that spot. There was one. I think Drew was trying to give him a future shock on top of the table, and Punk reversed it. But the end of the match, just fucking chef's kiss, at least for me. Like he hits him with the second go to sleep of the match to start it off, hits a corner, hits the second corner, winds up going up to him, gives him another GTS, hits that third corner, gives him another GTS, makes it halfway to the fourth corner, hits him with yet another GTS. So four go to sleeps in a row was finally enough for CM Punk to be satisfied, and he winds up hitting the fourth corner, winning the strap match, and getting back the bracelet. And I think that's something that's really interesting about Raw and even SmackDown right now. There's like two shows where the top prize in both shows is a bracelet and a fucking necklace. And you know, you love to see it because you can build a story around anything. And the amount of storytelling going into this bracelet itself, and we're not going to talk about SmackDown, but like the bracelet itself, like to the fans, probably means more than like the Intercontinental title right now. And I'm honestly surprised they didn't have any like mid card championship matches, but you know, it is what it is. If I had to rate this match, I would give it an A, not an A minus or an A plus. I would just give it an A. It was just damn near a perfect match. My only thing was with it being a strap match, you would think it'd be a little bit longer, but yeah, no, I would absolutely. I would have paid money to have been there, dude. Like, especially to be in that crowd, like you were talking about earlier. That crowd was just going ham the entire time, dude. And especially when it got to the main event, that's probably the loudest crowd outside of maybe the AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes match at Backlash. But yeah, I'd have to give it an A. And anyway, directly after that, it went into the mixed tag team match, which was one of the ones I was really excited for myself. And this was the match that I got wrong. I thought Liv and Dom was going to win. I was mistaken. But we'll let Harley take over on that one.
All right. Well, the tag team match, the intergender tag team match, like Trevor said, we were watching it together, and he said, he picked Liv and Dom, and there was a part of me I was low key thinking, yeah, it could happen, but I don't know. Right before Trevor said make a call, and I just went with my gut, and I was like, it's gonna be Rhea, and it's gonna be the Terror Twins, Rhea and Damien, and sure enough, that's what ended up happening. I mean, brother, damn, what a good match it was. It was just like all the storytelling that went inside the match was wonderful. The match chemistry, obviously, with Rhea and Liv having their long history, being in a tag team back in the day, having all their matches through the years. I mean, they were perfect. I mean, they were great. You know, Dominique and Damien were great together, and everything just flowed so perfectly, dude. Like it was had so much hype in this match. The crowd was rocking. I mean, like we said, the crowd was electric. They were going pretty much from start to finish. They didn't slow down one fucking bit in any match, and especially not this one, because this is one of the most heated storylines going on in the world of professional wrestling at this moment. Um, damn, dude, it was fuck, man, it was sick, dude. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, this whole match was just electric, and I was like, okay, here we go, back and forth, and you know, Rhea's trying to hit her finisher, and Damien's trying to hit his, and they're like, and what one spot, I'll say this will, it'll be my spot of the match has to be was when Rhea and Damien both hit a fucking razor's edge
Hmm.
simultaneously. Good lord, man, that shit was insane. Like they threw them motherfuckers, and of course, then the Judgment Day gets involved, and it's like, oh shit, looks like they're about to get the upper hand for real, brother. Rhea Ripley manhandled Carlito. That's a grown man.
Yeah.
That's like that's 6'2", 240. That's a real man, and like they grabbed that some bit like she just manhandled him, and of course JD distracts Damien, and Finn Balor he hits Damien, and like he attacks him. Uh, I was kind of like turned away for. I'm pretty sure he hit him with a sling blade, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Correct me in the comments. You know who you are, lovers. Um,
Hmm.
but it was, brother, man. That shit was sick. Like the whole thing was, like I said, choreographed to a fucking T. It was just awesome. And like and then after the Judgment Day, after they got rid of them, and they ended up, Damien gave Dominique a nasty ass he gave him a nasty ass broken arrow. And like the thing about his broken arrows, man, is like he just throws that like he just throws people like grown men, just chunks them across the ring.
Yeah, like they weigh nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. But hit him with that, and then the finishing sequence. They run into. Damn, I'm drawing a blank because I mean, like this time, like most of the time we take notes. We didn't even take notes. We're just like directly after the match. We're just hitting it, and and I don't know, that last match really done a lot for. I was like, it was one of those that just gets you so like you're so bought into it, and you get so hyped, and you're like, damn, like you kind of having to come down off this buzz, and you're like, all right, I got to think about what's happening now. Correct me if wasn't it the finishing sequence was Damien hitting a choke slam, right? Yeah,
Well, well, yeah, like
Rhea hit Liv with the right with the
the
riptide,
Riptide.
and then Damien pulled his shirt down, and that's when you knew shit was real. And
Hmm.
he hit Dominique with the choke slam.
It was fucking. It was great, and yeah, and Rhea Ripley hit her signature pin. Fucking pretty much pinning down Liv Morgan, and very sensual, man.
Mm.
But mm, you love to see it. But anyway, she get the 1, 2, 3 fucking banger of a match, dude.
Yeah,
Honest to God, it was fantastic. Um,
I have to give it another A as well. I
yeah,
mean, it was great. Probably could give it an A plus. Like really, just how well it was. But the final match, which I'm gonna let you take over, is without a doubt an A triple. I don't know, A 20 plus. I don't fucking know, dude. 7 thumbs up, beautiful. Like,
Fucking 15 out of 10. One of the best matches that's happened this year so far,
oh yeah,
by far.
I'll let Trevor
And
get into it, but right before, I just have to say the way the German crowd was popping about just like just pure graps, like they love that shit, dude. Like,
oh, dude, but you've never like the like it's night and day looking at like giving someone a headlock in Germany compared to putting them through a table in the United States gives roughly the same reaction. It's crazy.
oh yeah,
Like, it really does. Like it made me laugh because it's just like, God damn, they love grappling over there. But no, they started off the match. Randy Orton went down, and very similar to France. I don't think it was quite as loud as France when it came to singing Randy's theme song, but they were still belting it out with all the love in their heart for him. And one quick little side note going into this, I did not think Randy was going to be playing the heel as much as he was, because he was going like full bore. Like this was like 2000. It was like 2011 Randy Orton all over again, minus the punt kick. And like eye pokes, fucking holding him down on the ropes. Even like they had a press conference yesterday, I think, and Randy Orton was saying, "Is like, yeah, Gunther, with you being German, you can see him just mouth out Austrian." Like, and it's like with you being German, I found out I'm actually 70% German. That's probably why I like Heineken so much. So there's a couple things wrong with that statement, but I think Randy Orton was just like playing to the crowd, just trying to piss them off at that point. And if y'all don't know, Gunther is Austrian and fucking Heineken is a Dutch beer. So it
and
just
Randy's sober. Randy's
and
like,
Randy's sober. So there's a lot of things wrong with that statement, but it is what it is. But no, the match started off. Randy got announced as the challenger by Samantha Irvin. Here come Ludwig Kaiser as the announcer for Gunther. And the match started off really, really slow, but the crowd was just so into it, dude. They were chanting for Orton. They were chanting for Gunther. They were just having a really good time all the way around. They started doing the wave at one point. Like, fantastic match, but it starts off, grappling back and forth, just trying to get a feel of strength. And to be completely honest, I thought Gunther wasn't going to win clean, but we'll wait for that when the time comes. Um, to be completely honest, Randy at 300 pounds was not on my wrestling bingo card really for life. But and I know we've talked about this quite a bit, especially on the pod. But like, it's weird to see Gunther in the ring with someone like much bigger than him, and it's even weirder for that person to be Randy Orton. For again, 300-pound Randy Orton, he'd give choke slams and you would believe it. But with that in mind, they were going the absolute lovely back and forth. Randy started working his arm and trying to take the power of those chops that Gunther's so well known for. And he did damn good with that. And you talk about a stiff fucking match, dude. They were beating the hell out of each other. Um, I know Randy started slamming his arm against the ring, and like by the end of the match, you could see the bruises all over Gunther, just in general. Whether it be kicks, chops, punches, elbows, European uppercuts, it did not matter. Randy was just laying into him, and Gunther was giving it right back. Um, they wind up going out to the ring. They go out of the ring for a minute. Randy started giving them backdrop suplexes onto the announce table, which at this point I would say is vintage Randy Orton
oh
as
yeah,
well. Because it's something that he's been doing for a long time, but I feel like people are just starting to catch on. It's like, oh, he does that damn near every match.
yep.
So you love to see it. And right after that, Gunther winds up getting the upper hand again. Tries giving him some clotheslines when they get back in the ring, but of course, Randy working his arm, he doesn't have the strength in his arm to actually make those chops or the clotheslines really that believable, or not believable but powerful. And anyway, Randy winds up getting the upper hand again. And earlier in the match, he had thrown Gunther into the steel steps a couple times. So he winds up going out of the ring. And shout out to both of their selling. Like, Randy is one of the best sellers of all time, but Gunther is very slept on for his selling ability. Like, there's a couple times he damn near looked dead in the ring. And anyway, Randy Orton sets up the steel steps right next to the Spanish announce table, and winds up giving him an elevated backdrop suplex, puts him through the table, and starts playing to the crowd with his signature taunt, doing the arms outstretched. Anyway, he rolls him back into the ring, and oh yeah, before that, Randy wound up giving him an RKO after a vintage DDT, 2 count, and he covered him quick. So pretty much right after that, you knew Gunther was going to retain, and he gets him back into the ring for yet another RKO. Gunther reverses it and winds up giving him a sleeper hold. And after about 2 or 3, 4, maybe even 5 minutes in the sleeper hold, Randy finally kicks out, or he finally passes out, and still your world heavyweight champion, the best wrestler in the business right now, Gunther. And with Randy playing the heel as much as he was, you kind of got to see a glimpse of the hypothetical of what Gunther would be like as a face. And I got to be honest, dude, I think he can do it. But I think they need to hold off on that for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think they need to make him a face just, at the snap of a finger just because he was getting pops in Germany,
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the closest he's going to get to like wrestling in Austria. So, I mean, they're right. I mean, Germany and Austria are just right next to each other. They share a lot of the same culture with each other. If I'm not mistaken, they even have that. I think the official language of Austria is German.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Austrian is a language in of itself. But anyway, after the match, Ludwig Kaiser comes into the ring, celebrates with Gunther. And another quick note, Gunther is not one to show respect at all to anybody he beats, but he finally did to Randy Orton after getting his ass whipped the entire match for the most part. Finally gives Randy Orton a handshake. Randy accepts it. And we thought an RKO might have been coming, but Randy just he lets him have his moment. He goes back to the back, and Gunther gives an interview in German. I'm not entirely sure what was said. I'm sure a translation will come out sooner than later. But no, fucking a quadruple plus 15 out of 10 match. This has been like since WrestleMania. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that this has been the best match since WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
It'd be between him. It'd be between that or Gunther and Damian at SummerSlam. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I might have to give it.
Fuck Jim Cornette for that. Like, I'm sorry. It's like I'm sorry you don't like Damian Priest, but dude, that match was undeniably good.
Oh yeah, like
Um,
the storyline built up well.
yeah, and it's just one of those matches, dude. It was absolutely wonderful match. I mean, really, we could have made a podcast about that match as a whole.
Oh yeah.
Um, but no, I'd have to say overall, I'd give this pay per view an A or a 9 out of 10.
Oh yeah, I'm right there with you.
Um,
Like same boat, brother. And I guess
yeah,
it's like off my ratings. I mean, I guess the Kevin Owens and Cody match would probably be. I gave it a B plus. So I mean, I guess technically, I feel like it's the lowest. But like, even I don't know. Like, even saying that just feels weird because the whole damn show was just it was awesome. Like, it was a
oh yeah,
definitely. Like I said, the follow up SummerSlam, like an iconic SummerSlam that you just pulled off, and to have this, I mean, perfect. Like, and I'm excited for Bad Bloods on October 5th. I'm going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm very excited for that to see what the storylines are going to build up. I got a whole month to build up for that, and I am very intrigued on what they're going to do.
I think it's going to be fun.
Yep. Also, I will say early prediction. I am hoping for Liv and Rhea to have their, the trio, like to have their third match,
Trilogy match.
Yeah, their trilogy match, and like let it be a Hell in a Cell. Like just let it be a Hell in a Cell. That bad.
I hope it is.
That'd be awesome. But whether that happens or not, don't know. That's my very early guess, or that's my very early prediction. We'll see what builds up in the next month on these Raw and SmackDowns leading into Bad Blood. And hopefully it follows this electric crowd that they just came off of.
Hopefully so. I know Atlanta's usually Atlanta. I mean, it's the South. The South is definitely a hot spot for wrestling fans, and Atlanta is one of the most live crowds in the South. So I expect Bad Blood to be wonderful. But some early predictions for matches. I do feel like Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa are going to go at it. As much as I hate to admit that, and I can just go ahead and tell you that's going to be the worst match of that pay-per-view. Just right off, and it ain't got nothing to do with Cody more than it's got to do with Solo Sikoa not being a main eventer and them trying to push him into that spot. Like he has potential to be a main eventer. I'm not saying he's not like completely talentless or anything like that. He's not Bachaloa, but like I feel like they're pushing him way too fast.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to wind up biting him in the ass in the long run. And that's not even his fault. Because, put it like this. If you can only count to 10 and people are expecting you to count to 15,
Yep.
you're gonna disappoint some people.
Oh, yeah.
Even though your ability is to count to 10.
For sure.
But overall, fantastic pay-per-view, and absolutely excited for the I'm really excited for NXT No Mercy tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Finally going to get to see Joe Hendry.
We might give you guys a if we end up watch it. We're planning on watching it. We might give you guys an NXT review tomorrow.
All right.
And hopefully we'll have some, maybe in the morning we might have some college football updates, or maybe later this evening, don't know.
Shout out Vandy.
Yeah. Shout out Trevor being the only one picking Vandy to win.
That's right. I told y'all motherfuckers. Here's the thing. It's Vandy, yeah, but it's also SEC versus ACC. And I'm not trying to sound like a SEC homer, but, Virginia Tech hasn't exactly been the powerhouse they were in past years.
Yeah.
So, kind of is what it is on that. But with that said, I'd have to say this is probably going to be the end of the episode right here. Thank y'all for listening. This was episode 21, a Bash at Berlin review. Hope you enjoyed it. If you get a chance, check it out on Peacock. Check out the highlights on YouTube. They're probably already uploaded by now. The damn pay-per-view's been off for an hour and a half, for a damn half an hour at this point. So,
you can find some on Twitter.
Oh yeah, you'll find it. Shit, go to Pornhub. Oh, but especially that one specific camera shot of Gunther's cock and balls. Like that was not. Well, it was just funny because I was just about to say before that, because me and Harley were on the phone watching it, and I was about to say, I was like, man, this camera work is great. And then there's his twig and berries, and I'm like, well, maybe not so much. Is what it is, I guess. But with that in mind, thank y'all for listening. We love you. See you next time. Don't forget to put your hamster in a blender.
We're hopping off. Don't call me back. Oh, yeah. You know what? Maybe call me back.